Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so very much for being here. Thank you for clicking on today's video. In today's video, we have a very exciting video planned. Today, we are going to be setting up my summer TBR. I absolutely love setting up my TBR cart depending on what holiday or like season it is, but my summer TBR has to be one of my favorites to do. I feel like I say it whatever season or holiday it is. I just get so excited to set up the books. Seriously, picking out books to read for whatever season or holiday is definitely one of my most favorite things to look forward to. Books have easily been that thing that like I always just look forward to, and it helps with not feeling so much dread with time going by so fast, because if I have this to look forward to, it makes it a little bit easier. I do have 3 books already that I want to read before the end of June, so instead of doing like a ton of books for June, July, and August, I think I'm just gonna do 5 books, because in that way it still lets me pick out books every so often, every like 2 months, because if I pick out like 10, then I'm not going to be doing a TBR video until probably September. So to make it easier for myself, since I'm a little bit of a slower reader, I'm just going to do 5 books, and these are going to be the books that are going to be on my high TBR for the rest of the summer. It's going to be hard trying to pick out just 5 because I have so many books. I can easily pick out 10 that I want to read right now, or at least just before the summer ends, but I'm going to do 5 for now. It's gonna be a little hard, but let's do it. Let's get started. So I think the first book that I'm going to pick out is Heartless by Elsie Silver. I read Flawless a couple of months ago now, and I fell in love with that book. I loved it so much. I think the romance was done so well. Her writing, Elsie Silver, her writing is done so well as well. That was too many wells. I get a little worried picking up a book by an author that I've never read before, because what if the writing just doesn't work with me? Like seriously, that's a fear, being like, I just don't like the writing, but luckily I did. And I have just been thinking about finishing the series, or at least just reading the second book for so long now. It's just been in the back of my mind, and there's just so many books that I want to read at one time that I haven't picked this book up. So this is the second book in the series. I don't know why, I just love going into books so blindly. Like, I don't even want to read the synopsis, but for the sake of today's video, I'm going to read the synopsis. So it says, working as a nanny for the world's grumpiest single dad should have been simple, except I can't keep my eyes off him and he can't keep his hands off of me. Single dad trope? Grumpy? Cowboy? Oh my god. Oh my god, there's an age gap too. Cade Eaton is 13 years older than I am and barely looks my way until I get him into the hot tub one night for a game of truth or dare. Man, this is why I shouldn't have read the synopsis. That gives me the ick. I don't know why. Going in the hot tub for truth or dare, these are adults. Then all bets are off, and so are our clothes. You know, I don't know why I'm like this. I didn't really like that synopsis, but you know, people have said that they really like this. If not, it's one of their favorite from the series. So why does that kind of give me the ick? I don't know. Okay, I think it's because I like slow burns. So I'm like, immediately we're gonna have spice in a hot tub too, playing truth or dare. Okay, we're gonna get past it. The first book that's going on to the TBR is Heartless by Elsie Silver. Okay, sweet, this is so much fun. Okay, the second book that I'm going to pick out is Things We Hide from the Light. I read Things We Left Behind. I always mix up the titles with Lucy Square. I don't know why. Things We Left Behind is the 3rd book in the Knockman series. I read Things We Hide from the Light in April. It wasn't my most favorite romance ever. I definitely preferred Flawless over Things We Have from the Light, but it was still really good. I still enjoyed it. I still had a grand old time. I read Things We Never Got Over, I think in 2022. And then I didn't read the second book in the series until 2 years later in 2024. I don't want another 2 years to go by before I read this one. I love Lucy Square's writing. It's so easy. This is a brick of a romance, but there's so much more into the story that it doesn't get boring, and it keeps me on my toes. Like, it makes me want to keep on reading it. Like, whenever I have free time, I want to pick up my book. So That's what Lucy Score is good at, with writing a brick of a romance, but still making you want to pick up the book and it's still making you interested in it. In this book, we are following Lucian and Sloane. And in the two first books, Things We Never Got Over and Things We Hide from the Light, we get their bickering in like the background of the book. We see the relationship that they have. I think we got like a little bit of it in the first book, but in the second book we definitely got more, and it made me so much more excited to pick up the third book because they hate each other. They despise each other, but you know that they want each other, and you get that just from the second book. So I'm so excited to have their own book and like their own story. Although what pops up into my mind though is some people were disappointed with this book. People had higher hopes and expectations, but still I'm going to go into it like open-minded and not let that dim down my experience. And who knows, maybe if at the end it'll be my favorite of the series, or maybe I'll have that same experience as others, but I don't want to let that ruin my experience. So I'm super duper excited. These are friends of the main characters that are in the two other books, and there's a really good found family in these books. It's small town. Lucian is a grump. Like, it's going to be the ultimate like grumpy versus sunshine trope in here. I love that trope so much. It's so good because then it just like elongates the romance and it makes you like wait for it until they finally, you know, like admit their feelings. I love the slow burn that comes with grumpy versus sunshine, so I'm so excited. I'm so excited. It says, there was only one woman who could set me free, but I would rather set myself on fire than ask Sloane Walton for anything. It's so freaking good. I thought those were going to be the only romance series for the summer that I was going to read, but then I saw this one, Hook, Line, and Sinker by Tessa Bailey. It's not necessarily a series, but because I think they can be read as standalones. This book came out first and this follows the sister from this book. So in a way, in my mind, I feel like I should read it in order with reading It Happened One Summer first, and I read that book last year. It Happened One Summer wasn't my most absolute favorite book ever. I think I ended up rating it like a 3.5. Like, it wasn't anything crazy. I wish I would have liked it more, but I'm still excited to continue the series. I'm still excited to read this one. I loved the small town that we're in this world, and in this book it's all based around them living by the water in Washington. I live in Washington, so it's so freaking fun to read about it. We also got a little bit of like a tease of what this book is going to be from the first book. In the first book, we get introduced to the sister, and we also get introduced to the love interest that's in this one, and it makes you really excited. And knowing already a little bit about the characters, I don't know, to me it makes me that much more excited. Also, not knowing anything, also going into the book blindly is nice, but there's something about already being familiar with this world and with the characters just sounds really nice. I'm just so excited to read this book because it's just going to be a nice little romance, one that takes place by the water, which I love. I don't know if it's necessarily a grumpy versus sunshine sort of thing, but I know that I'm gonna love their banter. I mean, I hope I do. I hope I do. It says, King Crab Fisherman Fox Thornton, I think that's how you pronounce his last name, has a reputation as a sexy, carefree flirt. Everyone knows he's a guaranteed good time, in bed and out. And that's exactly how he prefers it, until he meets Hannah Bellinger. She's immune to his charm and good looks, but she seems to enjoy his ... personality and wants to be friends. Bizarre. But he likes her too much to risk a fling, so platonic pals it is. Sure. Right. Okay, that's the third book. Okay, we only got 2 more books to choose from. Oh wait, to choose from? Only 2 more books to choose. You know, I'm not gonna act like I haven't been staring at my bookshelf and trying to figure out what books I want to add to my TBR. I already know which ones they're going to be. I was gonna like browse. No, Yadisa, you know you've been having this book on the back of your mind. Love and Gelato by Jenna Evans Welch. This takes place in Italy. Tuscany, I love that. It says, Lena is spending the summer in Tuscany, but she isn't in the mood for Italy's famous sunshine and fairy tale landscape. She's only there because it was her mother's dying wish that she get to know her father. But then she is given a journal that her mom had kept when she lived in Italy. Suddenly, Lena's uncovering a magical world of secret romances, art, and hidden bakeries. A world that inspires her. along with the ever so charming Ren, to follow her in her mother's footsteps and unearth a secret that has been kept for far too long. It's a secret that will change everything Lena knew about her mother, her father, and even herself. People come to Italy for love and gelato, someone tells her, but sometimes they discover much more. Yay! This sounds amazing. I'm assuming it's YA. I think it's YA. I am so freaking excited. This is gonna be a good old YA romance, but with more. She's discovering more about her mother and just the past, and it's based in Italy. How much more do you want? And look at the cover. This sounds amazing. I've never read a book that's based in Italy, and I'm just so excited to read just the good old vibe and energy and just like being in Italy. It sounds like so much fun to read about. I would love to go to Italy, but for now, we're going to read about it. So freaking excited. Oh my gosh, the books are kind of matching. Can you see in the corner? Okay, one more book. Okay, again, I already know which book I'm going to choose. It's going to be Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. I have yet to read any Abby Jimenez books. I think Abby Jimenez is probably one of the most popular romance authors in the book community, and I'm assuming it's for a really good reason. I think it was Destiny Sidwell that I heard talk about Abby Jimenez first, and ever since then I have been so intrigued to read Abby Jimenez. I'm really hoping that her writing just works with me. I'm hoping that it's quick and fast paced, just like easy for me to consume. And it just seems like it's going to be that. I'm assuming that this is going to be a good old romance, but with a little bit more emotional depth into it. As a romance lover, I feel that it is my duty to pick up an Abby Jimenez book and just check out one of her books. When I think of a good old book to bring to the beach, I also think about Abby Jimenez. Like, it just seems like good old vibes all around. So I'm so excited. I really hope that I pick up this book before the summer ends. It says, after a wild bet, gourmet grilled cheese sandwich, and a cuddle with a baby goat, Alex Montgomery has had her world, Montgomery, like in the Cinderella story? Okay, doesn't matter. Has had her world turned upside down. The case, Daniel, not my camera just turning off after like a certain time, the camera will just turn off. Sorry, Alexis, did I say Alex? I think I did. Alexis Montgomery has had her world turned upside down. The cause, Daniel Grant, a ridiculously hot carpenter who's 10 years younger than her and as casual as they come, the complete opposite of sophisticated city girl Alexis, and yet their chemistry is undeniable. I'm so excited. It just sounds so freaking good. Okay. Those are all of the books. Sorry that you couldn't, oh, sorry. I'm sorry that you couldn't see me add them onto my TBR. I just didn't have enough room here. Those are the lovely books that I'm going to be reading this summer. If you read any of these books and if you really enjoy them, please comment down below. I love it when you guys comment, oh my god, I love that book, because then it makes me so much more excited to pick it up. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. Let me know what's on your summer TBR, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!